The kitchen at *elevation* was pure steel and flame, gleaming counters, clattering pans, and the barked orders of its tyrannical executive chef, Maxwell Richards. He stood tall, coat spotless, expression severe as he stared down a new applicant.
"You," he sneered.
"You think you can survive my kitchen?"
The woman in front of him looked unassuming.
Auburn hair tied in a plain ponytail, no makeup, no hint of ego, just a quiet presence and steady eyes. Her name on the application, Amy Hartwell.
"I'm just here for a line cook position," she said calmly.
Maxwell glanced at her resume, unimpressed. "Some experience in France? Which cafes, ones with postcards for menus?"
Amelia didn't flinch. "Small places."
"I'm here to learn."
He scoffed.
"Prep vegetables. Don't cut yourself."
She nodded.
"Thank you." But what Maxwell didn't know, what no one in that bustling kitchen knew, was that Amelia Hartwell wasn't just any cook.
She was the Amelia Hartwell.
A chef who had once run Leto*, the most prestigious restaurant in Paris. A culinary prodigy whose Beef Wellington had been called divine, a spiritual experience, and Michelin on a plate. She had 3 stars before the age of 30, then vanished from the scene, burned out, disillusioned, and seeking something real. Now, at 34, she was traveling across America under the name Amy Hartwell, researching a book titled * Behind the Kitchen Door, America's Culinary Identity Crisis Star.
No interviews. No makeup. Just the raw truth of food and fire.
On her second day at Elevation, as chaos mounted in preparation for the James Beard Foundation dinner, Maxwell barked orders from the center of the storm. Suddenly, his eyes landed on her.
"You.
*prep girl. Come here."
Amelia wiped her hands and approached.
"We've got a VIP requesting Beef Wellington."
His grin was wicked.
"Since you trained in France let's see what you've got." The kitchen fell into a hush.
No one touched Maxwell's Wellington. It was his crown jewel.
"If you screw it up, you're fired," he added.
She nodded.
"Understood." Maxwell handed her the recipe card, bland, uninspired.
Just enough to get by.
She scanned it once, then began.
Something shifted.
Amelia's movements, once modest, became graceful and exacting.
Each motion efficient. Each choice deliberate.
She cleaned the tenderloin with reverence, selected wild mushrooms from the cooler, and deglazed her duxelles with Madeira, an unlisted, crucial touch.
Cooks paused their work to watch her.
She didn't measure, she *new star. The meat seared under her practiced hand. The pastry lattice formed in seconds. "She's different," one whispered. "She's better than him," another muttered.
Maxwell hovered, smug.
"You're going to overcook the meat." Without looking up, Amelia replied, "It needs another 20 seconds for the Maillard reaction."
His eyes narrowed. The air shifted again.
She layered the prosciutto, duxelles, and perfectly rested beef like a sculptor. Folded the pastry with no air pockets. Egg washed, twice, and added a sprinkle of flaky sea salt. A finishing touch only a handful of chefs in the world ever dared. When she placed the Wellington in the oven, she didn't set a timer. Maxwell pounced. "You're not timing it." "I'll know when it's done." 4 to 2 minutes at 400 degrees, he snapped.
38, she said.
"The meat's colder, and your pastry's thinner than you think."
He stared. Her authority was absolute.
The kitchen continued around them, but all eyes stayed on her. Even Maxwell began to circle her station like a predator, unsure if he'd just cornered a bigger one. 37 minutes in, she approached the oven. "It's ready."
"It's not time yet." She opened the door.
"Beef is at 128 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll rise to 132 while resting.
Medium rare. Perfect." She placed it on the counter. The pastry gleamed like polished gold. The aroma was intoxicating. 7 minutes rest, she said, washing her hands. Maxwell's voice was tight. "You're not Amy Hartwell, are you?" She smiled.
"I go by both."
He looked pale.
"You're Amelia Hartwell star."
Leto. 3 stars.
James Beard winner. Guilty. Gasps filled the kitchen. A young cook whispered, "She's like the Michael Jordan of cooking."
"I'm standing right here," Amelia said dryly.
"And I'd argue his the Amelia Hartwell of basketball."
Laughter broke the tension. Maxwell's face turned a shade darker.
"Why are you here?" To spy on me?
No. To research.
To rediscover what I loved about cooking.
But what I found here, she looked around the joyless kitchen.
Isn't it? Daniel, the sous chef, sliced into the Wellington. A perfect cross-section.
Juicy pink beef. Even layers. Crisp, golden pastry. Mon Dieu, he whispered.
Maxwell stared at it, then her.
This was sabotage. You humiliated me. I didn't come to undermine, she said gently.
I came to observe.
To remember.
You've got technique, but no heart. You cook to impress, not to nourish.
His lips tightened.
And you, he snapped. You walked away. Gave it all up. Couldn't handle the pressure.
She hesitated. Just a second. I walked away because it stopped being about people. It became about stars. Deadlines. Pressure. Fear.
Like this place. The kitchen went still. The dining room manager burst in.
Chef.
The guests are asking who made the Wellington. They say it's the best they've ever had. All eyes turned to Maxwell. After a beat, he exhaled.
Miss Hartwell prepared it. She deserves the credit. Amelia looked at him.
Chef Richards, in my experience, the best dishes come from collaboration, not competition.
She turned to the manager.
Tell the guests it was made by Chef Richards and his team.
It's *his kitchen.
*his menu. Why would you do that? Maxwell asked, stunned.
Because it's not about ego, she replied.
It's about why we cook.
Maxwell was silent.
Then softly, would you show me your technique for the duxelles?
She smiled.
Only if you show me how you got that perfect sear on the scallops. And just like that, two masters began working side by side. No titles. No arrogance. Just food. Just heart. That night, Elevation's kitchen transformed. The staff leaned in, asked questions, shared ideas. Maxwell corrected less. Listened more. Even laughed. 2 weeks later, Amelia packed her notebooks. You really leaving?
Daniel asked.
I have 6 more restaurants to visit, she smiled. Maxwell approached. The publisher's excited for your next book.
And ours.
The collaboration. I'm glad, she said. Your new Wellington, it's beautiful. It's yours. Our guests love it, he said. It's what happens, Amelia replied, when we cook with both skill and soul. As she walked out, Maxwell turned back to his team, not as a tyrant, but as a teacher. And behind her, Amelia heard it, his laughter.
Real. Human. Not from pride.
Not from ego.
But from joy.